What's going on, everybody? This is Dr. Spectre 9701 coming to another video. So, I was thinking about making another video, and I couldn't find any inspiration. I'm like, what am I going to make a video about? Well, I was watching How the Incredibles 2 Destroyed Everything Part 3, which is a video series I actually really like, so I'm not going to be responding to that. However, I'm not going to be responding to the actual critiques of The Incredibles 2. I'm going to actually be responding to the critiques of The Incredibles that he makes. Now, people, there is something that has really gotten on my nerves, and that is the fact that people confuse convenience with writing flaws. Now, a convenience is something that just so happens to come up whenever the plot requires it to. That's not a writing flaw. No, a writing flaw is something that fundamentally breaks the story. If you can poke holes through the frickin' story with one thing, the story is broken. For example, Incredibles 2. Why doesn't Violet just ask Tony out on another date? She does at the end of the movie, but why doesn't she go for that? Because literally, they were not dating in the first movie. She had a cute little crush on him. It was cute. It was fun. But honestly, people, the quote-unquote convenience of Elastigirl activating the signal to Mr. Incredible's homing beacon when he's walking out of the freaking secret lair, right? It goes, and then all the freaking guns activate, and the intruder that's not a plot convenience. That is called building tension. Building tension. Do people not know what building tension is? Okay? Building tension is important. Without tension, without stakes, there is no story. There is no plot. Without conveniences, there is no plot. There is no way for the writer to write themselves out of a freaking corner if they need to. I get it. I get that people want writers to be, creative with the way their characters get out of situations. But you cannot establish a deus ex machina. And also, people, if you want plot conveniences to stop, I got news for you. There's a little thing called Deus Ex Machina, which is it's a very unestablished. It's where a character gets out of a situation with an unestablished, with something unestablished. For example, you set a scene up, right? That happens to be, a staff in the middle of the room. Okay. You set the scene. Now a character gets into a fight. Character remembers that lever, pulls it, secret wall opens up. That's a convenience. Deus Ex Machina is that the character was to get into a fight, all of a sudden grabs a freaking mirror, the mirror freaking burns everyone. Completely unestablished, wasn't shown at all. How did that mirror get there? Right? Now, plot convenience is not when a freaking character fires their gun and hits the freaking panel, and then Elastigirl launches herself into two other guards. That is not a plot convenience. That is not something that should bother you. That is not a plot convenience. That is called moving the story along and a very badass moment. People, when you confuse convenience with an actual writing flaw, it saddens me. Because, honestly, convenience is really needed for writing. Because if a writer writes themselves into a corner and they can't figure out how to get their character out of said corner, you know what that causes? It is a writer's worst nightmare. Writer's block. Writer's block. Do you know how to get out of writer's block? It takes sometimes days, weeks, or even a month to get out of writer's block because you're sitting here racking your brain on how to get your character out of a situation. Writing is not as easy as people make it out to be. Speaking as an aspiring writer, it is not that easy to write characters, plot, story. It is not that easy. I imagine that it took Brad Bird a very long time to crank out his script for The Incredibles. And it wasn't a first draft either. He probably had several drafts of script. The Incredibles 2? That's a first draft. Okay? Like, this needed 2 or 3 more drafts. Like, Incredibles 2 needed 2 or 3 more drafts in order to work out all the kinks of the story. Because Evelyn Devlin which means evil. Basically evil endeavor. What the fuck? Okay. Not very clever. And then her monologuing. Okay. First off, Incredibles humor has established that monologuing is something to be made fun of. So when she was monologuing, the last girl should have just freaking pretended to be a fucking sleep. And went, oh, I'm sorry, you were monologuing. Like, it's fucking boring. You know, without the fuck, of course. It's just really boring. You know, and with her listening to a police scanner, okay, she should have actually looked at the police scanner, said, I don't think so, and then shut the police scanner off. And then it should have been her staring up at the, it should have been her below the, it should have been her kind of looking up at the train tracks and then seeing the train going backwards. Her going, why is that train going backwards? And then her following the train. And then we could have got that awesome train sequence without any freaking police scanner involved. Long story short, convenience is not a writing flaw. It's a way for a writer to get themselves out of writer's block and using Deus Ex Machinas. Hope you guys have a good day.